I definitely say it's being able to snuggle up on my couch, light a nice candle, and just hang out and watch something that I pick out on Netflix. I think that's always the best thing to do on like a free weekend or after a long day, just so I can like kind of decompress and relax a little bit from the day. So one thing that I really look forward to every holiday season is being able to pick out the color scheme and the specific decorations that I want to do for my Christmas tree and all of the Christmas decorations around my home, and being able to think about that and then put it all up at the end of the day and then take a step back and be like, well, like this really came out the way that I wanted to, or just being able to just be creative on my own. I think that's something that's always been a tradition in my family. So just being an adult now and being able to do that on my own has been really, really nice, because I get to, pick and choose what I want. I don't really have to consult with anyone else. I think the biggest thing for me is being able to see the growth in my clients. For a lot of people, talking about mental health and even recognizing that mental health is a factor that we all experience is really difficult for a lot of people. So when you address that concern and how difficult it is, and you really look at the humanity and what brings the person to therapy, I think that can be a really big turning point. And once you're able to have that conversation and recognize that these things are uncomfortable, you can validate those feelings, and that can really set the trajectory with sitting with your client on processing whatever it is that they needed to process. And I think being a therapist and working in this capacity with clients is pretty much the only area where you are really able to sit down with another person and really get to know them and their story and help them see the other side and get the support that they need. So at the end of the day, for me, being able to look back on that and see how I can support my client through their life experiences is really humbling and really rewarding for me. There are many, but I remember in particular my first day signing on to a meeting at Revive. It was group supervision, and I remember feeling very overwhelmed, not in a bad way, but in a good way, with just how loving the environment felt and just very nurturing. I don't think I've ever experienced an environment where everyone genuinely cares about how you're doing and cares about the work that we do together, because it's not just I have to do well or you have to do well. Like, we're a team and we're a collective, and there's not one day where it doesn't feel that way. So just seeing that everyone wants you to win and be as successful as them, and everyone is willing to like help you and be supportive and just check in and just have casual conversations and just spend time and getting to know one another, because at the end of the day, the work that we're doing is really challenging, and having people behind you who can support you and who are cheering for you makes it feel even more worth it at the end of the day. I think your working environment really makes a difference in how you're able to do your work, especially in this field. If you're in a place that's making you feel like you aren't valued and the work that you're doing isn't important, then it's going to impact the work that you're doing with your clients. So I really appreciate how Revive really makes an effort to validate everyone's experience and really help build connections between everyone who works here. And I think that's a rarity to find. So I'd like to think that I'm really funny, so I try to use my sense of humor whenever possible to break the ice, to make the space a little bit more comfortable for me and my client. And apart from that, I try to use a person-centered approach where I try to empower my clients to address whatever challenge or concern they're facing on their own, while I try to understand how it affects them and their well-being, and also how it's making them feel in their body, right? Because in session, I try not to tell someone what to do with whatever challenge that they're facing, but just making the space more comfortable so they can kind of process it on their own and feel like they have a support.